Go live. How Tesla can easily throttle demand. And that means up, but it also means down. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. And give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. Look at me. Howdy, y'all. Little different look. I desperately need a haircut. And I admit it. That's a capacity I have. That is a capacity I have. So, for those of you who don't know, Tesla is a car company, and they make cars. Oh, what am I doing here? Let me make that a little prettier. Show. There we go. Better. So right now, demand is through the roof. It seems if you can build a car, you can sell a car. Though, maybe that's not true, because we just saw the Q3 production reports from a number of legacy auto companies, almost all of whom were down. That's not good. That's deeply concerning. Nissan being down 10%. Yeah, not good. So the question is, how can, with Tesla having 2 new factories coming online soon, imminently, within the next, few weeks perhaps, but months for sure, how are we going to do it? So Gordon, the busted nut Johnson, the clown who loves to say that Tesla is a busted growth story, but always has very high, very ambitious production targets, who is a financial advisor, who is offering you financial advice, very bad financial advice, at least in regards to Tesla. So how can we increase demand? So one thing Tesla's done in the past is free supercharging. And maybe not unlimited, maybe a little bit here and there, but that has been effective. It's been done often for quarter end, to boost sales, to hit targets. But it's also been done in the case of the S and X you can see here to push up demand for an entire model. And maybe not that, but that would be one lever that could be pulled. The referral program is over. Bring it back. Maybe make a special class of goodies you can only get through the referral store. That'd be neat. Right now, there's really no purpose in having a referral program, considering they're sold out into next year already. Why not do that? That's one way they could do it. A big one, more superchargers, man. More superchargers. This isn't a huge complaint in a lot of places, especially in the US. It seems to be under control, though expanding is something they're already doing. But in emerging markets, this will be of tremendous value. Because if you can't charge a car, you can't sell cars. And, India is going to be a tough one, because as big as the market is in terms of sheer numbers of people, it's not necessarily big in terms of people who can buy $50,000 cars. And if you don't have superchargers, it's going to be real tough to get much of a foothold. And geographically, it's a very large place, but this is something they can do. And it's something they're already doing. Now, mind you, there are a lot of external factors that will drive Tesla demand. Governments mandating cars go electric, that will help. There's going to be a lot. But internally, within the company, that's just what we're looking at. Does FSD transfer when you sell? Wouldn't it be nice, especially for the early adopters who bought a feature that they paid for a long time ago and still don't have? I think it would be very beneficial, at least until FSD is absolutely complete, to allow buyers to take it with them. That would be another way to potentially increase demand. Certainly demand for FSD. If FSD is going up, wouldn't it be nice to know I can pay $10,000 today and have it for the rest of my life rather than for the rest of my car's life? Well, but you can sell that car. Yes, I don't think that is as impactful to buyers when considering the value proposition. Car colors. When I was putting this video together in my head, before I started actually putting it together, I asked my kids, what would make demand go up? And one of them even said, more colors, more colors. I like this picture here. This gives ideas. Maybe purple is a little too aggressive, but I would love to see a proper silver. I'm sure there are people who would love to see a copper gold kind of look. This guy, maybe not that guy. Maybe not that guy. But 6 colors, I need more colors. And I think a lot of people would buy even limited edition colors. Make them expensive. There are people who would buy them. The other big thing is a lot of companies make subtle design changes every year. And a lot of times, as I understand, when a new platform is rolled out, they will plan, we're going to add this piece of trim, this piece of trim, this piece of trim over time. I think it's great that a 2017, a 2019 Model 3 looks the same as a Model 3 today, but I think you would get people who would buy a new one every year. Now, maybe that would just put too many onto the used market, but I don't know why. I still think that would be an advantage. Can hear you. Great. Yes, and oh, by the way, the thummy thing, if you like thumbs, you can give me one in either direction. It doesn't bother me. I'm just glad you're here. So, in terms of demand, I'll tell you why I'm not buying one, and it is the price. I'm not upset with the value proposition. I just can't afford it. Discontinuing the $35,000 Model 3 is disappointing. There are people who would buy it. And that's a demand lever they can go back and pull at any time. They should have the cost reductions necessary to make a $35,000 Model 3 profitable. But why would they bother selling it when they don't need to? Well, hopefully in the next year or two, they'll have the ability to address that market. Because every time prices go down, the market expands dramatically. I want to say it was on Now You Know with Zach and Jesse, but I can't find an article on it now where they explain that for every $5,000 a price, the retail price goes down, the addressable market doubles. $35,000 Model 3 would be great. And really, I wouldn't buy a Model 3. I can't buy a Model 3. My family's too big. Model Y standard range discontinued. You know, the EV Mini only has a range of 120 miles. I think people would accept a sub 200 mile car. 244 mile standard range Model Y. 244 miles, man. That's great. I don't know. We need more lower priced models. And then, of course, shocking cost results between the Tesla Model 3 and Y. Now, this is from Sandy himself, from his actual website, Lean Design, where he found in his teardowns that the Model Y costs less to build than the Model 3. So at the very least, let's get a cheaper Model Y. Making Model Ys cheaper, my gosh. And, maybe make a less performance-y version. I would buy that too. It would still have vastly more. I don't need drag strip performance. That is a feature that is included that I don't need and I don't wish to pay for. And I'm sure there are plenty in the same boat. And then, of course, the $25,000 car likely will not have a steering wheel. Leave the steering wheel in, would you? I'd I'd feel a lot better having a steering wheel. Even if it's vestigial, even if it's like what Maggie Simpson uses in her car. But a $25,000 Tesla would be an absolute a game changer. So the last demand lever I thought of was having vehicles sitting on lots ready for impulse buyers. 7 most impulsive buys and which ones are and are not worth it. A dog? Oh, look at that guy. But no, vacation tattoos. Where is it? I went too far. A car. Yeah. A lot of people buy cars who didn't plan on buying cars. Having the ability to let someone walk out today with a car has value. Has value. As long as it doesn't result in high pressure sales like it does with every other car, I'm in favor. So that's all I got. Let's whoopsie doodle. Shush your mouth. Let's pop this out and take a look at the chat. Let's see what we're missing here. Move this guy down. Here we go. So let's see what you guys have to say. I am happy to participate in my community. Me. Okay. The problem for the big three is they've outsourced almost everything except engines, stamping, and assembly. The engine plants they have here in Cleveland will be an economic boat anchor. Yeah, it feels like a big chunk of what they have is the thing they don't need. And the thing they do need, they don't have. Ross Gerber from Gerber Kawasaki, the investment fund, was saying that because when Tesla finds a part that they can't get, they make it. And the big guys do not have the agility to do that. One thing we talked about in the chat before the live stream was that Volkswagen today had a meeting, today or yesterday, I guess yesterday now, had a meeting that where they explained how Tesla is in a league of their own. How Tesla can make a Model Y in 10 hours or a Model 3 in 10 hours where their ID car takes 30 hours to build. And that creates quite a chasm to overcome. Green, you want a green one. I tell you, there's a lot of beautiful colors out there. Mazda has this maroon, metallic maroon, I think is beautiful. I'd love to see like a metallic dark blue. You can go look at the wraps that a lot of people have done. At Giga Texas, there's an employee with a blue wrap on their Tesla. That's, I don't know, not for me, but they were willing to pay thousands extra to get that color aftermarket. Yes, Wendelin, colors, that's what wraps are for. But there are people who would buy them. And as a demand lever, maybe factory wraps is a demand lever. Because the biggest cost of the wrap is the labor, and if you've got people who do that, nothing but that all day, you could have one person assigned to each, fender. I'm the fender guy. I do right fenders, I do them all day, and I do them fast. You could wrap a car in 20 minutes using this method. Oh, yes, the big difference is you could roll the price of the color into your financing rather than having to, you just put $5,000 down. Do you really have another $2,000 to drop on that? Well, if you're buying a $50,000, $80,000, $150,000 car, maybe. But if you're a budget buyer who's already stretching to get into something that will save you money long term, it'd be kind of nice to roll that into your financing. They don't need to bring prices down. They can keep up with demand as it is. That's true for now, Mike. But with Berlin and Austin coming online, we've got a real possibility that the numbers we're seeing today are going to more than double in the next 2 years. There are limits to demand. Not everyone can buy a $50,000 car. And the used market is not soft on Teslas. I've looked for used Teslas for years, hoping I could get one. And yeah, steel, Mitridate, steel has tripled in cost in the last 2 years. Aluminum is up as well. The aluminum has gone up something like $70 a ton. Or maybe it's $200 a ton. I don't remember, but Tesla only uses like 700 pounds of it. It's like when I did the math the other day, it was like $60 per car in extra aluminum costs, which for a high margin car, not a problem. Low margin cars, if you're only selling with 2-3% margins, that steel cost may put you underwater. When do I think Tesla will meet demand and have extra stock? When Giga Texas gets fully ramped, if Fremont is not closed for retooling, I think in North America they will have enough inventory to put some in lots at that point. Not all models, some models, and not everywhere, just most places. That's my guess. That's my guess. And I think the same is true for once Giga Berlin is ramped, they'll have models available for immediate purchase in Europe, I hope. Okay, we're almost through the chat. If you guys have any chat, get them in now because we're about to end this bad boy. By the way, I'm so glad you guys are here. I may be, in the coming weeks, tinkering with when this runs. We might try a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning because this is an inconvenient time for a lot of parts of the world, and I get that. So we'll think about it. We will think about that. Jude, Tesla for near future doesn't need demand expansion. No, but they will. They will. And what I'm really trying to say is I was going to do the live stream about the production estimate, but I was afraid that they were going to release the production numbers before now, and then what would I talk about? So I published that earlier today, and now we're doing this. So I kind of had to scramble for a topic. This was something I was going to put more work into. But it's fun. Dark forest green, absolutely. There were early Founders Edition Model S's that were in like not a forest green, but a really neat green color. You can find those. Ah, you have seen the blue wrap. It is pretty. It is pretty. Who do I see being the next viable challenger? Hyundai? Maybe. Sandy Monroe thinks it's going to be someone in China. NIO, BYD, I don't know. Among the legacy guys, VW Group is absolutely serious. GM is serious-ish. Ford is understanding now that they need to get serious, but they're not quite there yet. There are a lot of EV models in Europe that are, in my opinion, quite compelling. They just haven't come to the U.S. for some reason. Mm-hmm. Hello, Thunder Bay, Canada. Mm-hmm. I test drove a Mach-E that had a higher sticker price than Model Y Performance. Tesla's going to be demand constrained for a while. Also, they're not going to make many Mach-Es. They don't plan to make them as big as Tesla Model Ys. It's every EV they sell, they might be losing money. And if they're not getting the margins they're used to. Oh, and that's GreenPad, great point. The Ford Model T started in 1908 at $850. By 1916, the price was down to $360. ICE cars can't do that. We know what they cost. The room to reduce costs is limited by the sum of the components. Electric has the opportunity to continue price drops. So the cars will get cheaper to make. We can enjoy fat margins while dropping prices. The economy of scale for one, but just the battery technology, which is the largest cost of the vehicle. So, Jay says, I think they changed the tax credit. It's only good for cars around 30,000. We don't know. We don't know. It's too early in the discussion. It's all question marks. And I think that uncertainty is going to cause a lot of hesitation on the part of car makers and buyers. I think it's really unfortunate, but that's how the sausage is made. Yeah. W.R. McPhee, wrap any color you want from the factory. I think I don't see a problem with that. I really don't. Same time tomorrow to discuss numbers. Other other folks are thinking they might come out super early in the morning, like in the next, what would that be? Maybe 7 hours. So I don't know. I really want to be online when it comes out because I really want to see how I did in real time. So we shall see. Tesla's only threat is climate change. There is no competition. So far, there is no competition. You guys think 242, 255? 255 would be fantastic. I did get a comment saying, wow, you're less bullish on your production prediction than Rob at Tesla Daily. And I am. I hope his numbers are right and mine are wrong because that would be fantastic. And he's a great guy. Niche and micro markets can beat Tesla. I mean, maybe. The other thing for expanding demand is there's going to be more models. There's going to be minivans. There's going to be cargo vans. There's going to be everything at some point. If there's a market, they'll build it. I mean, sedans are a tiny market, and Tesla makes 2. I don't think there'll be any stock of Cybertruck for years to come. Yeah, I agree. Good beer and good people. Thanks for hanging out. So I am not drinking beer today. I am drinking Coke Zero, which is wonderful. If you like the taste of Coke, but also kind of want it to taste like batteries. So it's a drink of champions. Hey, Bear. Good to see you. Glad you made it. I will talk to you later. Bear and I are considering doing a weekly hangout where we talk about all things EV. That would be interesting. We'll consider that. We're thinking about it. No one else is close to the quality or performance in mass markets. Not even close. Yeah. And remember how easy they said it would be? Not so easy now, is it? Not so easy now. Okay. Well, yeah. Bear's in here. Isn't that cool? Bear's a great guy. I mean, according to him. I don't know. I'm just kidding. If you haven't seen it, I did an interview with Bear. And if you have seen it, Bear did an interview with me, and they're slightly different. We put them different on our channels. So that's neat. So, there we go. I guess that is it. What did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me all your blinding brilliance in the commenty-doos below. If you haven't given me the thummy thing, what are you doing, man? Why did you make it this far without a thumb? What's going on? And I always feel silly saying those things because clearly if you made it this far, you're already a fan, and you guys are awesome. All right, well, stay tuned. Stay juicy. And I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity-flop. But you know what I'm going to do here? Is I'm going to sit here for a second because in the past,